I'd rather sleep until the storm is gone. She'd rather be shooting at me now. I know it will end up in anger. I don't think we grew up, we just became older. She's aiming her words, ready to fire. I don't think that bullets will bring back desire. I don't think that bullets will bring back desire. Looks like a blink of an eye's not enough. She'd rather be staying for days now. I'd rather fix it than mess up again. She'd rather be burning it all now. I know it will end up in anger. I don't think we grew up, we just became older. She's aiming her words, ready to fire. I don't think that bullets will bring back desire. I don't think that bullets will bring back desire.
Hello?
Hello,
Hello.
how are you doing, Steph?
Okay.
It's amazing. You answered as soon as I called.
Well, sometimes I'm on time.
Yeah, but not this time because I was just 3 minutes late. And so I
Yeah,
called
but
you
I
3 minutes
would have been
late.
on time.
That's what you say.
That's my claim. I'm sticking to it.
I'm very
What
sleepy.
are these? You're very sleepy.
What or what?
Explain to me these things in the
Alright,
chat.
pause here, the music. Let's scroll up a bit. Let's see. When did we last speak? You're in a new place like around. Oh yeah, okay. And then there's the diagram we drew of when we fought the guy whose name I forgot. The Prestigio or whatever.
Oh, that's the diagram?
Pompello or
Oh,
whatever.
right. Because the what we're supposed to remember is you're in a new place, look around, right? And then you drew a diagram of that.
No, not of the new
Gotcha.
plays, of the boss fight. We
With the
fought
boss fight.
we
Oh,
fought the
sweet.
guy whose name I forgot. The showman guy, the Shakespearean.
Oh, Travolo, Trevine.
Yeah, exactly.
Something.
And then I drew the diagram in front of you.
Oh, I might have been tired by
And
that
then I
point.
copy and paste it and say, and now I'm saving the diagram for our memories of that time when we fought that guy.
Fantastic. Fantastic. It's a good diagram.
You know, like,
It's
hang
really
on,
good.
let me just open it up on stream so people
Yeah.
can see it.
Show it to everybody.
Well, I mean, they've seen it on last stream. It's just so they know what
Right.
I'm talking about.
They won't.
It's
They
you know
won't
I
want to miss this memory.
that the laser and then like it hit me while I was healing. That's what the vibration symbols around me.
Yes. Now I remember.
And then I said, "Oh, it
Yes.
canceled my healing," but then I had my spike ball because I
Right.
took damage earlier, and then he touched it and he died.
I do now remember the spike ball and such.
We were
but
doing the
I feel like other
analysis.
people also.
We were doing the
The
analysis
color
of what happened
play-by-play.
because we wanted to fight, and it was like
Right.
all of a sudden, and it was confusing. So we were trying to
It's confusing.
reconstruct
Yes.
what must have happened.
Yes. And other people will want this memory.
All right, what's this thing? Oh yeah, okay. So, well, here, let me share my screen, and then I'll also show the other things I sent you on the screen so that we can all look at it together.
Okay.
Let's see, where's Start Collab, Steph. Share this screen. Copy, paste. Where's Okay, you got it?
Have shrimp tritone. What I'm seeing is the game, though.
Yeah. But so you got it.
I got
All
it.
right, so then the next thing I sent you is this thing. This is a
This thing, yes.
capture from Twitch chat.
Gotcha.
And so I censor someone's name because I don't want to embarrass them or something like that, or like in case they don't want their message publicly shared. But I say, you know what I hate, and then here's me making a joke, right? Me, but here it is. I wasted money on backgrounds and assets I didn't realize were AI, and so now I have to do so many background checks now. There are some backgrounds I'm certain aren't AI, but because of how dodgy they look, I'm worried they could turn people away because they may think it's AI, and therefore that I endorse AI. So this person doesn't want to buy art that they know is from a human because they're worried that other people will think it's AI and that will reflect poorly on them, right? Like that means they support AI.
Backgrounds and assets.
Yeah, like pictures, basically.
Pictures?
Yeah.
Okay. Like art that you would hang on a wall.
Yeah, sure. More when they say backgrounds and assets, what they mean that they're. Hang on, sorry. There's like an echo effect, so it's distracting me. Like I'm hearing myself back.
Oh, gotcha.
From you. I don't know if you can put on headphones or something like that, or I guess you fix it now somehow. I don't know. Maybe you didn't. Depends on how loudly I speak, I guess.
Okay.
But so I was gonna say, yeah, if you can get headphones or something, that'd be nice. But anyway,
I have headphones on.
I'm still hearing it then a little bit. I guess I'm just speaking very loud or something, or you have me turned up
I
very
don't
loud.
know. I always wear headphones.
Okay. Anyway, when they say background assets, so they're probably a streamer like me, like a VTuber, and they might. So some. Let me just open up some random VTuber. If I just go on Twitch and just open anybody. Here, this person.
It's hard for me to put it somewhere.
This is some streamer. And this white border you see here is like the border of their screen, and then here's the actual like game that they're playing. It's inside this border. You see that, Steph? I don't know if we lost Steph, or maybe she's answering shortly and I don't hear the...
Hey, what's happening? Like, why is your sound not working?
You don't hear me anymore?
No, you're saying you don't hear me.
Okay. I mean, it's always happens, right? Like but like, let me get through this real quick. So this is your screen, and then you see there's this purple cloud stuff, and there's candy and so on.
Yes.
And then, yeah, if you go here, you see like the word about and the word link, and there's candy and it's purple and all that. So
I see those things.
So that's what they mean by assets and background.
Oh.
These are assets. These things, and this is the background, this big thing here, I guess.
Okay.
So this person...
so then what does it mean to...
is paying someone
what does it
for...
mean when they say they have to do background checks?
Like... So this, I guess they go on some website. Hey, Gab, I don't know how to pronounce your name, sorry. Gab, Weox, thank you for the hydrate. Let me take a quick sip. But thank you. It means they're going on some website to hire an artist to produce assets and backgrounds for them. And I guess some people lie. They say, yeah, I draw it myself, when actually they have an AI draw it. And this person wants to do a background check now on those artists, right? To see, do they have a good reputation? Can other people vouch for them that they're not using AI? The same way you might do a background check on a babysitter or an employee or anyone you hire, I guess.
Okay.
But I'm saying, like, so the anti-AI sentiment here is so... I feel like it's so extreme. It's more extreme than I expected. That they won't pay for human art that looks like it might be AI because they're worried that other people will think it's AI, which will embarrass this person, right? They would be embarrassed to be seen as supporting AI. That's way more extreme than I thought the general population sentiment about anti-AI was.
Well, I think we're all in our own little signaling bubbles, and we're highly conscious of the signals that we're sending. And in this person's bubble, sending a signal of, like, I can tell they're much more interested in background and assets than I am. And so in their bubble in which sending background, in which backgrounds and assets are important, apparently using AI for that is, they want to signal that they would not do that, and that's super important to them, right?
Yeah, but it's like we talked, you and I, Steph, a long time ago about what's it called? The layers of something. There's like 4 layers of a simulacrum, I think. Simulacrum layers, right? And it's one thing where it's like, I don't like AI, so I'm not going to use it. But there's other, like, there's abstraction levels above that, which is, and this is what this person's demonstrating. It's like, it's not even clear that they are against using AI themselves. What they are against is people thinking that they use AI.
Want to signal that,
which is, I mean, it's probably both, right? But the only thing that they're demonstrating right now is that meta level, not the object level.
Right, and that's what I mean. Like, the signal seems much more important to them.
Yeah, and I guess that's always been sort of alien to me, that type of thinking.
Right.
The signal being more important than the object level.
Right.
I
think that would be a very neurotypical thing.
To be care more about the signal than the object.
If there is such a thing as, I mean, I don't know, neurotypical is such a stupid word, but there are many people for whom signal is the most important. Like we're a social species, and many people are extremely
Yeah, that's a
sensitive to
simulacrum
social
level
cues.
3 or 4 that
Yeah.
that you're talking about, where it's more important the signal than the. But like, so when I read those signals, I'm like, yeah, but those people are weird, right? But it's becoming more and more like these. Actually, these are
Nope.
the normal people, and I'm the weird one.
Right. Right.
Because the thing is, like, I don't want to read too much into it, right? Because it's not about the specific person; it's more about the pattern.
Right.
But like, it's like they're willing to harm, in a sense, an innocent person, right? Like, I'm not going to hire a human artist because I'm worried that people will think it's actually AI, right? So it's not even about like protecting human artists at this point, right? Like,
Yeah. Seems pretty pretty standard to me.
I guess it's because like a common criticism, is it really criticism? I don't know. A vibe, I guess, a common vibe about this is that the one reason to hate AI artists because you want to protect human artists, right? And this stance that this person is showing shows that that's not why this person at least cares about it.
Well, it might be why they think it's important, right? Like, that might be the purpose of the signal, is to sort of say, or like what we think the signal is signaling.
Well, it's more important that they affiliate themselves with the right tribe, which is the anti-AI tribe, than that they actually protect the human artists, right? Like, there's this like natural trolley problem that's been presented to them, right? Like,
Yeah.
and they chose like, I'm gonna fuck over the human because I gotta preserve my own reputation.
Yeah, and that's just, there are very few situations in which that's not the case.
All right. The next image here that I sent you.
I was struggling so much with the use of the word background because background is used twice
In two different meanings,
both
yes.
in situations, two different meanings, and also neither of those is sort of how I would use it. So I was just like, I don't know what this means.
This is a leaderboard, I think Metacalculus or something like that, the prediction
Okay.
site.
I could tell it was a leaderboard from a prediction site.
Yeah, and so this is just showing that the top super predictors are AIs now. Right? They're no longer humans. These icons mean spot. And this one's literally called Gemini, this one's literally called Claude, this one's literally called GPT.
Oh, it's so little that I couldn't even read it. So I was just like, huh. That's great. Great.
Yeah. So AIs, and like not even like frontier secret AI. Yeah, these are like
Right.
off the shelf AIs. Sonnet 4.
Just regular.
Like
right.
we have access to Sonnet 4. Right?
Right.
Not even like Mythos or Opus or anything. Or Opus 5 is out now, right? And this is the lower class and the old one, the Sonnet 4.
Sonnet 4
is at par with like, the top humans at predicting outcome, like, future events or whatever, I guess. Political events, like, when will this war end? Will this guy win this election? And so on. And that sort of stuff, I guess.
Great.
Then I posted this quote. The effects of school phone bans. So various states, I guess, have banned phones in high schools. Like they do, a lot of them use that pouch or something like that, right? Like the student has to put their phone in a special pouch and the teacher keeps it locked up until the end of class or something like that. So then they did, they say, okay, so what has been the impact now that that's been going on for a bit? I guess at least a year, maybe a little more than a year. They say for academic achievement, average effect on test scores are consistently close to 0. High school see modest positive effect, particularly in math, while middle school sees a small negative effect. We find little evidence of effect on school attendance, self-reported classroom attention, or perceived online bullying. That's just an excerpt from the abstract, but it's the overall sentiment of the study seems to be saying there is no effect. Like, the effect is essentially zero everywhere on every measure. Both school performance, bullying.
I mean, if you read the abstract, it's not every measure. The effects on well-being after an initial disruptive period are good. Your quote starts after that part of the abstract.
Yes.
But
So
there's
it's
a
bad
lot
at
of
first
measures
because
there.
the students are angry, they don't have their
Yeah,
phone, but then after a
the students
while,
freak out. Yeah,
once they get used to it, I guess, then they say it's actually better.
they say it's better for their well-being. Yeah. Um, and then there's a bunch of measures that we actually like. It's kind of odd because we wouldn't really expect those to change. It would be absolutely stunning if you could do anything that would affect achievement test scores, because we can't seem to affect those in any way. Like we've spent
Wasn't there the
hundreds of thousands of dollars and created all kinds of programs, and like we just cannot move test like achievement scores.
wasn't there that whole like Mississippi miracle or whatever recently?
Yeah, it turns out, probably not so much. But yeah,
What do you mean? Probably not so much.
the details are kind of complicated, but it seems like it was probably oversold.
All right, fine.
Um, but it's very hard to move achievement test scores. And then there's a lot of things like I don't know why we would expect it to affect school attendance, or perceived bullying, or those kinds of things, and it didn't. Um, and then self-reported attention is tricky because we tend to measure those, like, as people, when we're asked questions about ourselves, we tend to make relative measurements. So if all the students can't use their phone, um, we would expect effects to sort of wash out because everybody's kind of comparing themselves to the other students who also can't use their phones.
Okay. I mean, so your criticism is maybe they're packing in a lot of things that we would have expected to have zero effect anyway. And I'm like,
Yes.
fine, fair criticism. But I guess the thing, the headline result is what I'm interested in, right? Which was the test score. You're saying nothing affects, or not nothing, but we have trouble
Affecting
affecting.
achievement test scores.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I thought, wasn't there the belief that cell phone use was making it worse? So it seems plausible that to say, okay, stop them from using cell phone and then they'll get better again.
So there is a strong belief among many of us, and I myself hold this belief. It's very difficult to test, but there is a strong belief that um, the existence of social short form media, um, the existence of, yeah, I guess short form media is doing bad things to human attention.
And you're
The
saying
problem
that's
is that,
regardless of
yeah,
whether you're using it in class, like, because eventually students go home and then they use it, and then so you would
exactly.
still deteriorate their school performance. Is your
Right.
hypothesis?
And I think that even for people who don't use it a lot, it's having, like, I think even people who rarely go on any form of short form video, so much of the world is conforming to that way of presenting information that it seems like you would experience the effects even in the absence of phones. Like the way that television programs are now written with the audience scrolling their phone simultaneously in mind. The way ads are done now, they're even shorter, and they use a lot of the same things that make things go viral on social media. So even ads nowadays are saying, and honestly, it was the best night of sleep I ever had, right? Like that exact patter. Kind of like the way television, if you read, for example, Neil Postman's Amusing Ourselves to Death, he talks a lot about how television made us accept a whole lot of certain forms of discourse as plausible, normal forms of communication. Um, and it changed how we process information, even if you don't watch a lot of television. And that makes it very hard to study effects that are measurable in specific test results, right? Or in specific self-reports.
So there's always been, um, I don't. The word is panic, right? Some sort of like rock and roll TV and so on.
Like a moral panic.
Yeah. So why do you think this time is different?
I don't necessarily. I actually think that the philosopher Agnes Callard, with her concept of the uni context, is sort of onto something. It's not so much that um, uh, that this is necessarily different. What is definitely different is that the last 150 years have had really dramatic changes in media and information consumption in ways that are it's very difficult to understand, very difficult to. Mm, Humans clearly didn't evolve for this, and predicting what the outcome is going to be um, is tricky. And I am sure that if I lived through the transition from an oral to a written culture and saw what that did to humans, I would have the same kind of moral panicky feelings, because they are stemming from ways that I can see my own and my friends and relatives' brains changing in real time, in ways that to me seem terrible, but who know? Like obviously, Plato felt that way when we switched from an oral to a written culture, and it was like, oh, actually, that was in some ways probably good, um, but it's definitely different in ways that I think is going to make it really hard to sustain attention or think critically. But maybe we don't need those things.
Yeah, I mean, I'm agnostic about that, but I do think in trying to explain this idea to people, um, convincing people about your thesis, um, you probably have to start from the secret of our success type stuff, right? Because I think people
Right.
underestimate the degree to which, uh, or it's not underestimating. It's so much. It's like complete blindness to social intelligence or cultural intelligence,
Hmm.
like how much of of our thinking, I guess, comes from that modality. Like I haven't read the book yet, so I'm still struggling, right, with trying to even express what the idea is here. Um,
Right.
but I think, like, if you don't know about that, which is like me, if you're like me and you don't know about that, you can look at TikTok and then you can do like tests of critical thinking and rationality. And you say, well, I don't see any effect. Seems basically the same, right?
Hmm.
But like it might be affecting this cultural intelligence thing, which I didn't even know about, which is and so I didn't measure it. And it seems plausible that TikTok and media in general, not just TikTok, but uh, would affect cultural intelligence in some way.
Affect our ability to usefully pass down what we know, or to pass down what we know to the right people, or to have some people get enough expertise passed down. Um, Weirdly, when there's big technological changes or vast changes to society, or people who used to know something really in depth um, can no longer pass on that knowledge. Like all the craftsmen in a village die of a disease, for example,
Yeah.
or if what's getting passed down is in random little snippets on TikTok. Um, cultures can lose really, really important technology. So there's multiple examples of cultures losing the ability to make and control fire, which, you know, you'd think is a technology that, oh goodness, what did I just do? I just touched, who even knows? It's super, super important to human flourishing. And when societies lose the ability to make fire, it's really devastating and bad for them. And it's super important. And they're all trying to solve the problem because fire helps with a lot of things, and they still can't figure out how to do it. So there's lots of examples of human tribes losing technology like fire or arrows or things like that. And what has happened is that the people who had enough knowledge in that area to pass it down weren't able to pass it down in a useful way, and then it gets lost, and we often can't recreate it. So you think you know how to make a fire right now, but I promise you, you really only know it in the abstract.
Yeah, I don't. I mean,
yeah,
I don't claim to know how to make a fire. I mean, like
right,
I've seen it on TV, but I don't know if it would work in real
right,
life when I try it. Right?
exactly.
Like,
And that's really the absolute base. Like we rely on outside tools and cultural knowledge to do everything in life. You wake up and you brush your teeth with toothpaste that you don't know how to make, and you
and the
flush the
water,
toilet, and you
which
don't
I
know
don't know
how
how to.
toilets work.
I don't know where the water
How do you
came
get
from.
water to your
Yeah,
house?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. And if we lose any of that, these are really hard problems to solve that got solved iteratively by societies over a long period of time through people being able to copy most of it and pass that down and then make little tiny improvements, tiny, tiny improvements on top of it. And if you lose any of the chains, like you could know a lot about how toilets work, but if you can't get water to your house, it doesn't matter, right? You may have great ideas for how to fix a toilet, but if you can't get the water there,
Yeah,
um, so it's yeah, the effects on things like that are hard to imagine. Right now, we're losing cursive, for example. Cursive is not being passed down. Most younger people cannot read it. And it's hard to know what that will mean when people truly can't read historical documents. And you think, well, maybe we could just scan them into AI and AI could read it. And it's true, but somebody could change them and you wouldn't know because you can't read the originals. So I don't know. It's
yeah.
interesting.
I mean, like that's sort of at the paranoia level. That's always true, right?
Sure.
Like it doesn't even have to be cursive. Like you could say that like somebody changed the English language, so we're reading these old texts and we think they mean one thing, but they mean something else. And actually, that's sort of like what's the word? P. Smith talked about that. The like the way we read the ancient texts. By ancient texts, I mean like philosophers like Plato or whatever. Is not
Oh,
what they
okay.
meant
Oh,
because
sure.
because we've
Right, but you could at least find the source, right? Whereas now you wouldn't be able to read the source. Cursive is kind of becoming a dead language.
yeah. I mean, to me, it's the same flavor. Like because it's
Is
like
it?
they're writing. They could be writing in English even, and you're reading English, and it doesn't mean what you think it means. It is P. Smith's claim.
Mm.
And they had a term for it, but I forgot what it was now. Like obscurism or something like that. There's like a way of reading text which is different in the old days than it is now.
Sure.
Anyway, but yeah, like we think so. With the oral tradition, we feel like these people remember these epic poems, right? Which are like 5,000 stanzas or whatever. Somehow they were able to
Right.
recite these, and then and there's no way I would ever be able to do that today. And we said, well, that's writing, right? Because we've offloaded our memory to this technology of writing, and that's why we don't remember things anymore. Maybe, and and,
Right.
and
Right.
there's a sense that like, well, it wasn't a bad trade, right? Maybe the benefits of writing is better than the memory capacity that we've lost.
Right. And most people who are writing about it are saying that. Like we don't know for sure that these are bad trades, but the advantages of writing made themselves evident pretty clearly, pretty early. And I'm not sure that the advantages of social media are making themselves evident in the same way. But a lot of
Yeah.
times the effects are just really hard to measure. Like clearly, starting with the radio, starting with telegraphs, it has made us unhappy. But we all measure that relatively, so we don't necessarily realize how unhappy it's made us until we compare ourselves with people who, for some reason, do not have access to becoming a global citizen and getting news right away of bad things
Wait, so
around the world.
you're saying Telegraph and so on, there's a downward trend in happiness?
Yes.
That surprises me.
Yeah.
Because I can't imagine being a peasant and being happy about it. Like when I imagine their lifestyle, back in the old days.
Yes, but the way humans work is to imagine how things could be improved. We spend a lot of time doing that, and more choices, more information about how things could be improved, more um, awareness of bad things happening for other people that quote unquote could be improved, more awareness of other lives you could have led. All of that uh, causes, is causes the emotion of dissatisfaction in humans. Like your emotions are probably information for the brain. They're saying like, oh, hey, you are comparing these two scenarios, and you have this is a way of weighing that weight is the emotion that you feel. Um, and so having all that information right now, all the time for everyone, has caused this increase in the emotion of dissatisfaction that we're all feeling.
Yeah, there is. Now you phrase it like that. There is this paradox going on, I think, which is that I think we are probably in moment to moment like less happy. Like we're
Right,
constantly unhappy because of all the bad news we're exposed to.
right.
Um, and yet, I don't think reasonable people, because some people fantasize about this, but I think they're being unreasonable. I don't think reasonable people would say, "Well, I wish I could trade lives with that peasant from back then." Yeah.
Right. And part of that, though, is because you know about all this other stuff.
So you're saying it'd be
It's
doubly
hard to,
bad to go back and also know that.
yes, yes, that would be the worst, right? Because then you'd have all this knowledge and be able to compare it. But what's hard to imagine is what it would be like to be in that place and for that to just be a good life, right?
Yeah.
Like there is not a lot, like there did not used to be a lot of soft furniture in people's houses before about 1750. There weren't really like pillows or beds or comforters or like a soft couch or anything like that. It was they didn't have the fabric and technology to really make those things, so it just really wasn't at all common. Um, but it's not like writing before the 1750s is a bunch of people being like, man, I sure wish I had more, soft things.
Yeah.
Like they didn't know. It's like you are not sitting around lamenting whatever they're going to invent 300 years from now because you don't know. You're perfectly happy without it. Um, when we become unhappy is when we are aware of something else that we could have, that we don't, or when we're aware of a mismatch between what we expect and what we achieve, those types of things. And now we have a lot more information about that. It's hard to imagine what it would be like to be a peasant and think, oh yeah, this is everything. Good job, me.
Well, I guess one way is to think about your childhood, right? Because probably
Right.
that was how it was back then. Like it was like, yeah, this is just how
Right.
life is. It's always been like
Right. You weren't
this.
sitting around being like, why does the Wi-Fi suck? Or at least
Well, I
I'm
mean, like
old enough that I
it's
wasn't thinking
yeah,
that.
it's era specific, right? Like if you're before Wi-Fi,
Right.
but like even like today, a child who is aware of Wi-Fi, they won't know. Like
Right.
like why is there poverty and hunger in the world? Why are we at war with
Right.
Iran? Like they don't know about any of that stuff. Like the
They
kids,
don't. Yeah.
so things just seem great to them. Like
Yeah, they just seem pretty good. And you know who's happier than adults? Kids.
the other
That's
thing
not
is,
to suggest that pain doesn't exist or, suffering or things like that, but we're a lot more dissatisfied.
yeah. On the topic of like the trade, you said social media. We're not sure it's a good trade, and maybe
Oh, yeah.
there is
Right.
because I think there's a lot of more. It's easier to find niche people who are interested in the same niche as you are now. I think with social media than it was prior to social media, right? Like if you're really into one specific TV show, one specific video game, one specific hobby, it's much easier to find people to share that with now than before.
The thing that's always put forth as a good thing is like, oh wow, like you can connect in these communities.
Yeah.
But the problem is that to me that rings hollow. I don't actually think we were meant to find these tiny little niche communities. I think that in general they tend to fracture and splinter and not be particularly kind of like sex in religion, sects. um, and also these online communities often don't have the same benefits that in real life communities have. And then I think they also teach us to think that other people have to have a lot more in common with us than is really the case for a close relationship. So for myself, for example, I have noticed over my lifetime that using social media has made me less tolerant of people with like bad book opinions. Like now, if they don't like the exact same niche books that I like, I'm like, dead to me.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh, that is weird. Like I was never like that through my, however old I was when social media became a prominent part of my life. I won't even say because I'm real old. But like I was not like that before. And now I'm just like, oh, that is awful. I do not like that. And I notice the more I'm on social media, the more I get stuff fed that's exactly to my taste, the more narrow my tolerance grows. And I assume that's what's happening with SECTSs as well, is that you kind of enter these weird purity spirals.
It's possible. Like it's this whole conversation is difficult for me because like what you
Right.
described doesn't I don't empathize with it at all, but I think I'm idiosyncratic in that way. Like
Right.
so what you say, maybe that's true for everyone else, and now say, oh, like so I'm trying to think like do I observe this in other people? And what I feel like I have observed, which is similar in that, so I don't know if it's the same or not. Is I find that women are more picky about the men they date nowadays, which is related. It
Sure.
seems similar to your book thing. And
Right.
I
And I
think
think it's true for men as well. I think they're more picky about the women they date. Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't know that probably because I don't seek out men who
Sure,
are
sure.
dating who tries to date
Gotcha.
people. But like I think like to their detriment, right? Like I think they
Yes,
would have been
absolutely.
happy if but like it's like
They would have been happier. Yeah.
but it's like it's toxic to even suggest that, right? Because you're saying like
Right.
this idea of like, well, maybe you should settle, right? Like is a
Right.
very aversive piece of advice to give to someone.
It is now, right? Like
Yeah.
it has right, it did not used to be. It used to be very common advice given to people in general, right? In
Yeah.
some cases it was like, in fact, you should let other people choose your spouse for you. right? Like in the case of arranged marriages. But there's data to back that up that people are becoming less and less willing to date someone who doesn't share their political views
Yeah.
and their progressive views, and that progressive women in particular are becoming, more and more progressive and less willing to consider any kind of differences in opinions.
Yeah.
And uh, elite institutions are getting more and more. They're engaging in more groupthink, right? So more extreme opinions, more small like small differences in opinions can lead to huge disagreements in real life or in the group, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, what you're saying now is plausible, although I haven't noticed it myself in institutions. But I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, I like most of the time when people are arguing on the internet, they agree to a really surprising degree, and then they're having a disagreement over, one tiny little thing.
Yeah, that's not my observation, but
That
it
seems
it,
big to them, but
it could
yeah,
be bubbles. We are in different bubbles.
gotcha.
Because that's not my observation at all. I've see people disagree on fundamental, irreconcilable things,
Like,
like sex is good versus sex is bad, for example.
that's a disagreement that you see?
Yeah,
Or is that's an example that you thought of?
no, that's a disagreement I see.
What? I'm sorry, now
Yeah,
I'm
see, that's
distracted
that's
by
what I
that.
mean. Like we're in
What's the
completely different
argument?
bubbles.
What 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 context are you coming across this in?
So like, the one the yeah, right, Ayala or whatever, the
Oh, okay.
rationalist
Yeah.
adjacent, and so she's very sex positive, and like I'm constantly seeing sex negativity, I guess, for lack of a better term. Like she's a bad person because she's a slut, for example. Like, and so to me, like this is a fundamental disagreement of values. It's not like they agree 99%, but but they disagree on one thing, no one tiny thing.
Oh, okay. So you don't mean sex, you mean sociosexuality.
Oh, I guess I don't know the distinction that you're making, but
Gotcha.
sure.
Okay. I was picturing something where like a group of people were arguing that children should be conceived through, you know, um, scientific methods versus through sex or something like that.
Yeah, or I mean, another like big fundamental thing is like AI gonna kill us all, AI not gonna kill us all, right? It's like not a agree 99% type of situation.
Yeah,
Data center's
but I
bad,
think,
data center's not bad.
yeah, I think often those are small disagreements in the grand scheme of things. Like I think those people have a surprising amount in common and are probably also behaving in quite similar ways and are just distinguishing, like finding the one area in which they have divergent opinions, none of which can really be no objective winner can be declared because there's not enough information, and they're sort of carving out a niche position there and then getting into a shouting match over it.
Yeah, so in that sense, I'm sure that they like they're all weird in the sense of Western educated, etc.
Right,
And so you could say sure. So there's the 99% where they agree, but
right.
I thought you meant something more less tautological than that, I guess.
Um, okay.
Yeah, okay, and then there was Chucker just subscribed.
Three four is the new 6-7.
Hi, Chucker. Thank you so much for the sub.
Hi, Chakra. What does that mean?
They subscribed for 34 months. So they're saying 34.
Oh, and it's the new 6-7. I got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Thanks. Sorry to be slow.
34 months is crazy. That's a long time.
That's such a long time.
Oh yeah. Okay. So written the trade with and with for writing for memory and then social media finding niches. So now the next step is AI, right? Like exchanging our critical thinking for AI.
Right.
And so now
Like we've done some of this cognitive offloading before, right? Calculators, stuff like that.
yes.
And that seems fine, but I'm worried that uh, right now the best uses of AI are if you already have the critical thinking to evaluate or the expertise to evaluate AI's output. And I don't know what will happen, like if there will be massive de-skilling when people don't have the expertise to evaluate the output. I'm not sure what that will be like.
Yeah, that is a concern. I agree, but like I think an underrated or underexplored positive side is
Okay.
that whole where you talked about of like people like skills or technology disappearing, and like they might more easily be persisted in AI, right? Like forever in a sense. Like even if every human forgets how to make arrows or how to make fire, like the AI will remember how to make fire and how to make AI, and they can re-explain it to us.
Possibly. Part of the problem is we don't generally learn from informational sources, right? We're wired to imitate high prestige others rather than getting the information from AI. So I'm not sure how that's going to work. I'm also sort of worried about the copy of a copy of a copy kind of problem.
Yeah, but the AI, well, it's there's a lot of uncertainty here, but like it seems like
Yeah,
AIs are able to do some form of reasoning, like they're not just
right.
regurgitating their training data. They can
Yeah, possibly.
like I don't know if you've been following, but like they recently solved since the last time you and I spoke, so in the last week they've solved 10 novel math problems that were like humans weren't able to solve, right?
Hmm.
Had you heard about this?
I think I saw
Yeah.
the news about one of them. I didn't hear that there were 10.
Yeah, so it used to be like I don't know, one every 3 months and then one
Yeah.
some month, and now they did 10 in like a week. 10 new problems, like which is
Yeah.
crazy. OpenAI 10 math problems. On August 1st, OpenAI announced that the internal version made massive progress on 10 long-standing open math problems in mathematics.
Crazy.
It just dropped, like, we solved 10 of them. Like, here you go.
Right.
The other one, like the most recent one before this was the guy was watching World Cup, right? And he just asked Claude, hey, can you work on this while I watch the match? And it solved something, right? The Jacobian conjecture, whatever. And so he posted like in the tweet, he's like, oh yeah, we solved the conjecture. Here it is.
Yeah. Super.
Yeah. Anyway, so the point being, like, they're able to. It seems like they're able to do some sort of reasoning. So when we talk
Right.
about a copy of a copy of a copy,
Yeah, maybe.
it's doing some error correction in this, right? Like if it says like, oh, I think this is how you build a fire, but this one part doesn't make sense. Let me think about it. Oh, it must have been. This must be the way. Like there must have been a typo somewhere. Like there's hope that sort of thing it would happen to correct from
Yeah.
the telephone game thing that you're talking about.
Right.
I saw someone make a similar argument, I guess, like in a different context. So they weren't making the same point, but it's in the same thematic cloud, I guess, which is they were talking about how people were complaining about how AIs were, or AI, the companies behind the AIs, I guess, were getting these obscure books and then like scanning them, but like the scanning is a destructive process because they have to they cut apart the pages or something like that, right? And then they scan each page to make the process faster and cheaper. And so they were complaining about how the physical book got destroyed as part of that process, and how maybe it's a rare book, maybe that was the last copy ever of it, and so on, and so it's just, there's an appeal to emotion, I guess, right? That something bad is happening there. Give me a long sign that you heard me, Steph.
Well, I said yes. I said
Okay.
yes like a whole bunch of times. I don't know.
Wow. Okay.
And I made other noises.
Okay, so then the counter argument guy was saying like, there's a couple, like he did a flow chart. He says like, if the book wasn't important, like it wasn't socially valuable, then who cares? But let's say it is socially valuable, and so he's going through like every possibility where he says it either who cares, it's not bad, or it's actually better this way for AA. And the better this way pathway, I guess, is the idea that if this was a last copy of a physical book and it was valuable information, and and you would have wanted to preserve it, if it really was the last copy, then it probably would have been lost if it wasn't for AI, right? But once the AI internalizes it into its weight, now that information is more easily accessible by millions of people everywhere. Whereas if it had remained in book form, it could have been, like, a guy throws away as when he dies as part of an estate sale or whatever, and now it really is gone forever.
Right. Yeah, maybe. Can I ask how people are feeling about this? I have noticed that like I don't feel like that social of a person. And yet I have noticed that when I ask chat how to do something, it will give me great information, and I kind of won't read it. I'll kind of skim it and
Okay.
sort of be like, sweet, it's got it. And then like don't like somehow my brain just says like, oh, that person, for lack of a better term, kind of knows it, and I will look at it later or something. And I'm not wired to look at it. I don't know, like something happens for me. What do you do? Like, how is it for you when you
Yeah, so
ask it?
I do feel in some cases I get impatient with the LLMs. Like they make mistakes sometimes which are tiring,
Yeah.
and I'm like I don't want to I don't want to read your full 3 paragraphs because I see like some reasoning errors in the first like sentence of the first paragraph. So I'm just going to correct you. I'm going to say, here's why you're wrong, or here's what some of you didn't take into account right away without even reading the rest. And I think that's to my detriment in like, or it's not what I would have done in the past, I feel like. But but I guess there's a sense of I can't think of a better term than equality, in the sense that it feels like it's because it produces the output so quickly, it's putting in so little effort, right, to anthropomorphize it, that long wall of text, that I feel justified in putting very little effort in evaluating that long wall of text. Like, why am I wasting my time scrutinizing it when it clearly only spent like less than a second producing this?
Yeah, it doesn't even care about you.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've noticed more like that I literally am
the use
like
the use case you're mentioning,
go ahead.
I feel like it doesn't come up for me, because if I'm asking it for advice on something, it's because I want to do that thing, right? So it's not like, oh, I'll read it later. It's like, no, I need to read it now because I need to know how to do the thing that I want to do.
Oh, because you're doing it right then.
Yeah, I'll be like, how do I, remove these grease stains off my pen or something like that, and I'll say something, and I want to remove the grease stains now, so I got to read it, right?
Like right then. I have noticed, like today I asked it for some advice about a watercolor project. And I was kind of like, I was supposed to produce this, and instead I produced this. Like, give me the top 3 things I can do to make this better.
Okay, I know what you're talking. Yeah, I used to do that. I stopped doing that because, like, I think it's similar to you, where it's like not actionable, right? Like
Yeah.
give me the top 3 things or whatever, and so then I just don't ever do them
Like
because
you get it right in that moment, and I feel like I'm ignoring it even more than I would from another person. Like I would probably also ignore it from another person. Like if you actually looked at my behavior, people don't really take advice that well. But I've noticed that I like ignore it immediately. I'm like, sweet. I I don't know. I feel like my brain just goes, cool. That's right. I should do those things. And then I think, oh, it's saved. I'll look at it later when I want to improve, and I do not.
yeah,
But it's like reading a self-help book, which you're going to dismiss and not do any of those things anyway. But that process of dismissing it and not doing any of those things anyway takes months. Whereas now the process happens instantaneously. And I'm just like, oh, huh, that's bizarre.
there's something tangentially related. So I mentioned maybe
Okay.
2 weeks ago, 2 streams ago with you. I said I'm gonna have AI just like automatically do my projects for me, right? Like I said, when I go to sleep at night,
Yeah.
it's just at 3 a.m. It's gonna run, so it's been doing that.
Okay.
And what the I said like 2 weeks ago, I said I just started today, so I didn't even have the first thing yet, so I don't know how it's gonna go, right?
Yeah.
And yes, and so I'll tell you how it goes next time. So
Right.
how it's been going is that it's been doing it. Here's my emails. The program is called Proactive, and it's saying like here's what I came up
Here are
with.
these unread emails.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like it's too much work. Like it's like I'm the bottleneck now, right? Like it came up with all these ideas
Right,
of
you're
things to
the
fix.
bottleneck.
Yeah, it's like well here, let's pick one at random. You made me bug fix usage report credited 0 times to app your. Okay, I don't know what this is, but it found a bug basically. Is what it's saying, right?
Yeah.
And then it says, and here's how I can
Yeah.
fix it, right? And I'm like, I don't
Right.
even have time to read the fucking email. Like
No, yeah,
like,
it's like-
it's too productive, right?
Yeah.
Like it's
Right.
it's doing too much work, and I can't keep up with all the work that it's.
Yeah. Yeah. There is an odd sense that way as well. Like the way that we thought email was going to be amazing, like really, really increase productivity in humans. And instead it just gave us all electronic chore boxes.
Yeah.
And now most people feel like they can in no way keep up with the amount of email that they receive and have to process each day.
Right.
There's something like that with AI that is fascinating.
But for me, in this case, it's like because it takes intellectual capacity to evaluate its proposal, right? It's
Yeah.
you're like
Yeah.
I mean, you're the boss in this sense, right? Like I'm the boss of this AI, right?
Yeah.
And it's giving
You
me
are.
proposals. It's like it's very capable. It says like I found this bug,
Yeah.
I found this feature. Here's what I think we should do.
Yeah. Right.
Should we go ahead or not? And like the time it
Like,
takes
I
me to
don't
I have to
know.
read it,
Yeah,
I have to
exactly.
understand the proposal, and then and it's
Jesus
just like
Christ.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's
Ugh.
like it's
Yeah.
but it's an insanity of like of wealth, right? Like it's an amazing
Right.
position to be in, to have a servant who will do all these things for you as soon as you
Yes.
ask it to. And in this case,
Right.
like it before
And
it
I
used
don't
to,
want it.
no, and it used to be that I have like you would have to ask, right?
Yeah.
But now I said like
Yeah.
don't even ask me, like come up with things to do
Right.
for me. Tell me
Just-
what you can
just do
do to make it better. And even then, like now it's too much. Like it's coming up with all these things it can do to make my life better, and I don't have time to go through the freaking list
Right.
of things to give it permission. As like, yeah, go ahead and do that thing, right? Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Like people have talked
First
about
world
how
problems, LOL.
yeah, exactly.
First world problems. No kidding. People have talked about how it'll be able to come up with books and movies and songs and things like that exactly tailored to your taste.
Yeah,
And I'm like, I don't have time to read all the books that I want to read now. Like, what am I going to do when it can come up with perfect, instantly huge numbers of books perfectly tailored to my taste, or make television shows or whatever that are perfect. How how is this going to work?
yeah.
And it's an embarrassment of riches, but that's still an embarrassment.
All right, I got some more just just chatting stuff for you, and I feel
All
like
right,
we're already
all right.
like an hour in, right? And so we gotta rush through this stuff. I
Okay,
talked about You know, I think I said like, oh, nice critical hit about myself, and you remarked on that, and I told you I picked it up
Oh
from
yeah.
Japanese cute girl
Yes.
VTubers, and I don't know if it's a Japanese thing or a cute girl thing. Anyway, so I found some
Yes.
samples to show you the phenomenon, I guess. So here's the first one.
Secret money. Thank you. You are welcome.
So that was it. Did you did you see that, Steph? I don't know if sometimes the video dies or, and then you might have to give like a long 5-syllable version of yes.
You told me that the phenomenon exists, and now you have shown me an example of the phenomenon. Great.
Yes. She hits the secret money block right in Mario. Sometimes you hit a block
Yep.
and she's like, secret money.
Yep.
Thank you. You're welcome. What's this
Yep.
one?
Okay. Oh, no. Okay. No. Okay. Yes. This. Okay. Yay! Wow. Good play.
See, she says, good play. She's saying to herself.
Yeah. Yep.
What about this one? Oh, right. Okay. So this is a slideshow. How do I go back? Refresh, maybe? Good morning. They went to the next slide immediately. How do I... Oh, here, down here. Good evening, I'm Nekone. Feel better. So she's having surgery or something like that. So she's posting these updates, right, to say why she hasn't been streaming. Like, feel better slowly.
Okay.
Today, last day, fentanyl, Nekone. Maybe streaming again soon. This is Fetty Turbocharger. I guess this was the example here. The last day, fentanyl, Nekone. So sort of referring to herself in third person.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Today's food. Pasta water, no taste tofu, bruh. Boiled veggie, soy sauce, miso, milk spoon.
The text on that reminds me of the text that they put when animals try food.
I don't know
On
that.
social media?
I don't know it.
You're not when
Yeah.
they give their pet like broccoli to try, and the broccoli's like, no taste, no, no, thank you.
What is this? Okay, I said this is related, but now I'm reading it as I don't know why. This is getting widely roasted, but I think the dude just rediscovered what the Hermetics called knowledge and conversation of the Holy Guardian Angel, and what Reddit kitties occultists call a tulpa, also related to rubber ducking. Does anyone else use ChatGPT in their head? I love using ChatGPT whenever I have questions or something, or I just want to talk, but sometimes my phone is dead and I don't really want to get up to use my computer, so I don't have access to the AI. Recently, I found out I have the ability to use a form of ChatGPT in my own head. I've talked to him so much I can almost entirely predict what he's going to say. For example, my cat kept scratching my bedroom door and meowing, so I was about to use ChatGPT app to ask why she was doing that, but then I decided it wasn't worth the effort and asked the AI in my head. He told me something like, if your cat is scratching on the door and meowing, it probably means that she wants to be let out. Let me know if you need anything else. Then I let her out of my room. I just thought that was a pretty cool discovery I've made. Interested to see if anyone else has this ability. So people are roasting them, right? When you say, as like, that's called thinking or whatever, like.
Right. Yeah.
But okay, so I think the relation is, this is the bicameral mind, right? What this guy's rediscovering. He has a voice in an interval monologue in his head, which he's attributing to someone to ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Or like in the old days to God, right? Whereas today we think of it as you're just thinking. That's your inner monologue.
Yeah. You're having thoughts, dialogue with yourself.
Yeah. And I think the relationship is because this is, you remember I talked about this book idea I had that I was sort of playing around with, right? About the second person pronoun self-talk, and how the Japanese don't really use pronouns that way. And so I guess this was my attempt to tie all of that together.
Maybe you could have chat do it for me.
Okay, do you remember a long time ago we played this game?
Taz and Homer money can buy lots of peanuts. Explain how. money can be exchanged for goods and services.
Yeah, exactly. That's a Simpsons reference. I don't know if you've seen that episode, Steph.
Oh no.
Homer's using his inner ChatGPT to explain to him how this money work. Anyway, do you remember this game?
No. Yes.
This is Arc something. I forget the exact name. The whole thing is called Arc Prize, but this specific thing is called something Arc AGI-3, I guess is what's called. The idea is you give a game and you don't explain the rules. And there's only a couple of inputs you can do. You can go up, down, left, right, space bar. And so as a human gamer, I see this as, okay, let me just press some buttons, see what happens. So I press up and I see that this moved up. So that allows me to make inferences like, oh, so I am this character, right? As opposed to maybe I was this thing or maybe I was this thing. Who knows? But once I see that this moves up when I press up, I can infer, okay, so this is me. And then the other thing is as I'm moving around here, I see this decreases. And so I infer that this is energy or a resource, and I guess something bad is going to happen when it gets to the red area, and so on, right? So I'm making inferences about the game as I play it, and I observe what stimuli gets produced, in response to inputs. And the thing was that apparently AIs used to be really bad at this. Now, when I first showed this to you, which was several months ago, Steph, I think humans perform at 99% or something like that, and AIs were performing at 1% or something like that. They complete 1% of levels. Humans complete 99% levels, something like that. Apparently, the AIs can do this now, so they've already defeated this. Good. So, but the reason I bring this up is that whole thing with the Karen boxing game and that speedrunner again, right? Of exploring solution space. You give me a long response.
I don't know what.
Okay, perfect.
When I start talking, you interrupt me. And,
I guess the reason I'm interrupting you.
If I say anything, and so
I guess the reason I'm interrupting you is because I don't hear anything at all. So I'm pausing and I'm waiting and I don't hear anything, so I start saying stuff. But that's perfect. So you did give me a long response. So, so what happens here is, or what's analogous to this is let's say the person's okay, let me see what happens if I do this, or let me see what happens if I do this, and imagine a straw man criticizer who's you're wasting your energy, stop moving around like that like crazy, right? Because you're gonna drain your energy and you're gonna die. But the point being until you know the rules of the game, you have to spend energy, right, to explore solution space to find out what you're supposed to do to win.
that you're making.
I just heard that you're making. I didn't hear anything before that.
What is the broader point that you're making?
It's that I struggled with trying to communicate this concept to that speedrunner, and now I think this is perhaps a good way of communicating the concept. I
getting the concept.
The idea. I think they had, with the crystal knowledge, they have trouble of envisioning what it's like not to know what the solution is, right? But I think if I made them play this game, they, inherently they would not know the solution ahead of time, and so they would move around trying to experiment and do things. And in the process of doing that, they would be wasting energy, right? Wasting stamina. And then...
my theory, and I don't know why you keep having this argument with... I believe you. I don't know why we keep having to litigate the same argument. But my belief is that guy wasn't trying to say you should know not to expend energy. I think he was trying to say, hey, let me give you a hint as to how this game works. If you keep doing that, that's a thing that, I think he was trying to shortcut. I think he was impatient with how you were playing it and trying to give you the information.
Okay, so two things.
Not saying you should have it already.
So two things. The first one is what you said just now is completely novel to me. I don't recall you making this particular argument ever before.
Okay.
So in that sense, it's like, to me, it's good that we relitigated this. When you say like, why, I don't know why we're relitigating this, because I guess one reason is because I get outcomes like this where you tell me new things.
Okay.
The second reason is that my intent isn't to relitigate. My intent is to help me explore or understand pedagogy. Like, I'm trying to think of different techniques. How do I teach this concept, which I don't know how to teach to people? Right? Like,
Okay.
so I said, like, in the previous stream, you and I talked about this, I think, probably. And a lot of it was just thinking out loud, right? I'm just saying, well, here's what I say, here's what I think they're thinking, here's what I say. And throughout the whole thing, it wasn't clear to me that what I would say would cause them to understand, right? And then, like, I randomly remembered this game, and then suddenly this was a eureka moment for me, where I was like, oh wait, if they play this, I think suddenly they will understand.
Okay. It feels very similar to, and maybe you don't have this a lot, but a lot of times your friend will keep having the argument with her ex over and over again in her head a bunch of times. And like every time you talk to her, you just have to hear her have that same argument with her ex, even though the outcome's never going to change, because they just fundamentally see it different ways. And you, as the spectator, is just like, oh my God, can we stop? Like, I'm not him. His mind is never going to change. You guys just see this different ways. Like, please, like, and your friend is just stuck in a thing, but it's not super comfortable to be on the other side of. Is what it feels like. It feels similar to that.
Yeah, I mean, I see the surface similarities. But the thing is, like, I don't think that guy is ever coming back to the stream. So I don't think...
Yeah,
like,
which is why I'm like, why do we keep talking about it?
because I'm interested in pedagogy. I'm interested in principle, like, how would I teach this to someone?
Okay.
Right, like in the same way
Okay.
that I'm interested in, like, general relativity or something like that, even though I would never actually use it ever in real life. It's just something I'm curious about.
Maybe what's so frustrating to me is that, like, I don't think that was the disagreement, and maybe that's new information to
Yeah,
you.
that is
I
new.
don't think that that's
So
what
now-
you guys
so you-
disagreed about.
So I don't know if you want to say more about that, so I can learn more about it from you. But
I don't think that he was literally saying you should know how to play this without making all these errors. I think he was trying to tell you how to be quote unquote better at the game by shortcutting, giving you like a shortcut, giving you a tip.
yeah,
And he was just baffled as to why you didn't want it.
I agree with you about his intent.
Okay.
What I'm getting at is I'm trying to communicate to him that like, he knows something that I don't know, and whatever is, and he's trying to hint to me towards something, I guess. But I'm trying to explain to him that his current method is not effective at communicating what the hint is. Or I don't have to model it correctly. Like, I don't know if he like consciously has a model of, what is the hint that he wants to give to me. So, like, I don't want to put things into his mind too much, but, like, I just sort of want to generally signal to him that what the hint that he's giving me is not effective, and he could have foreseen that it would not be effective. So, like, don't bother giving that hint, give a different hint or phrase it differently, type of thing. And so I'm trying to give him the model that allows him to make these predictions of, like, is my hint going to be effective or not? And so I'm trying to give this analogy of, like, if I move around and the way you phrase a hint, is by saying, watch your stamina, or, be careful of stamina or something like that. That doesn't tell me, like, as a player of this game, it's not clear what am I supposed to do with that information, right? Because probably I do know that that as I move, my stamina drains. So I'm aware of that. But what does it mean, like in a Grisium manner? What does it mean on top of what I'm doing to watch out for stamina? Does it mean to stop moving? You know, or you know, what could I possibly construct out of that hint?
Confusing because you sound mad at him, and I don't feel like his hint was that cryptic. Like his hint seemed to make sense to me at the time. I don't really remember it, but I feel like the information that he gave you was not information that you wanted, but perfectly usable information.
Well,
So I don't really know how to.
okay, so do you think this situation in this game is analogous? Like if I told you watch your stamina, would that be useful information in this situation?
It would plausibly be useful in the sense of I'd be like, oh, stamina is a thing in this game.
Okay, so now I'm wondering, is it the case that it wasn't clear that, like, it's not easy to signal, like, let's say I'm playing this game, it's not easy to signal that, yeah, I know about stamina, like that I saw this meter go down and I understand what this meter represents.
I truly feel like you guys have different styles of gameplay, and so his hint was helpful for someone who is not you, who wanted that hint. I'm not sure that like I think he was kind of just impatient watching somebody struggle with his game, because I don't think he realizes that his game would be a struggle for people, right? Because he's so familiar with how it works. And so he was just kind of like, oh, I don't want somebody to struggle with this. Like, I'm going to give them this information. Or I didn't even, like, I can't even believe this idiot is struggling. Like, I don't know, like, how, like, where his theory of mind is about the game. But I think a lot of us give hints that are the type of hints we would like, but that other people don't necessarily want or that don't fit with their gameplay. I don't think that's unusual. Are you trying to model for do you agree with that and you're trying to model for what to do when somebody's giving you a hint that doesn't help you specifically? Like how to tell them that? Or do you
Yeah,
disagree with me about that?
no, I don't disagree with you about that. I do think, I guess I'm going to paraphrase a little bit because it was a little unclear what you were trying to say. So I think what you're saying is lots of people are bad, or most people are bad at giving hints. And if so, then yes, I agree with that.
Okay.
So what I'm trying to do now is figure out, how do I teach people to give better hints?
I think his hint was fine for someone who is not you, though.
Yeah, and
I think his hint was fine for someone who plays the way he does.
well, okay, so there's two. He made two claims here. The first one, I'm not sure I agree with. The second one, I'm not sure at all. I'm trying to understand what the second one even means.
Hello, Pride
Okay.
Lion Hey.
Hi, doll. Welcome in. It's just, I guess I have an estimation of how well I can estimate whether someone understands something by watching their behavior, right? And I guess everybody has that. We're via theory of mind. We're always estimating how well someone understands something, and I feel like
Wait a minute. Sorry, you cut out for me.
I said via theory of mind. I think everybody is always estimating how well other people understand something, the scenario that they're in.
Okay.
And I think either they were doing a bad job of understanding what I understood, or like an equivalent way for phrasing that is I was not signaling whether I understood the stamina concept or not. Or I have an incorrect model of of what inferences you can make regarding what hints you should give, depending on what someone understands.
Okay.
So to me, like this, I thought I was clearly signaling that I understood the concept of stamina, and it's sort of like I don't know how to make it a concrete like a concrete rule. It seems to be all vibes and heuristics. But like if I watch someone playing a game like Hollow Knight, maybe this is a Bayesian prior thing, but usually most people understand the concept of damage pretty early on, right? Like when they touch an enemy, and then there's like this animation where they get knocked back, and then like one of the mass shards disappears from your health bar, and so on. Like all of this is pretty universal video game language in a sense. So there's a strong prior that most people will understand that, and so I wouldn't say something like watch your health, you know, on the assumption that the reason they're touching enemies is because they don't understand that touching enemies causes them damage, right? Like like I feel like that would be a bad or unusual inference to make.
Kind of advice do you feel like he gave you? Can you like, because the conversation just seemed like you guys were, um, mm, just had different gameplay, and his comment to me at the time felt like it made sense, but I do not remember it in super clear in enough detail to be able to have 15 of these conversations. So can you give me a kind of general of what you think he was saying?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm stuck on specifically the comment about what, like, I think it was just the comment was stamina exclamation point,
Okay.
and so I'm inferring, like, I'm reading into it. I'm saying he means like pay attention to your stamina.
Right. I feel like he kept telling you over and over again, when you make punches like that against this guy, it does it uses up too much of your stamina.
Yes, I agree with
And
that.
then okay, and then you were saying like, well, I don't know that unless I do these things, um, and find out. And he was like, well, why would you need to keep doing that? Because I just told you that. And why are you ignoring it? Like, I just told you that this particular guy uses up a lot of your stamina when you do that thing. And so he's thinking, you're going to do something else now. And you're like, no, I'm going to explore the solution space. And he's
Yeah.
like, why? I told you the solution.
Yeah, so everything you're saying is, I think, analogous to this situation right here in this game that we're seeing on the screen right now, right?
How?
So like I'm moving around, I'm pressing left, I'm pressing right, I press down, I press up. I'm walking around, and then the straw man says stamina. Like, you know, walk, like, meaning pay attention to this yellow bar that's decreasing over time, I guess.
Okay.
And so as a player, what am I supposed to do with that? I'm supposed to not press left, not press right, not press up, not press down?
To me, I think it would be similar to if he said, hey, the random exploration of the board in on this particular level will use up too much of your stamina for you to be able to win this level. And then you keep wandering around. And I agree that that hint is maybe not great because you're sort of like, well, I don't know what else to do. Like, this is the way that I explore the solution space in this game. And then, like, I'll kind of figure out as I go along and sort of get more data and lose more. And right. But he's thinking in his mind, but I just told you that that approach won't work. So do something different. I agree that that's maybe not the best hint, but in his case, I think he was thinking I said don't do that, so come up with something different. And you were saying, well, like this is how I play. And I think another player would have been fine with his hint and would have said like, okay, like I'm gonna stop and see if I can think of something to do that's not that because the guy who developed the game told me that's not the solution here. And you're like, no, I'm like a naive player and this is how I play and this is how I figure out the information because that's how you play. And I think someone like me, I would have been like, oh, the guy told me don't do this, so I will stop doing it and try to come up with something else to do.
I guess like the thing I'm struggling is so what are you supposed to do if you're not supposed to press left, up, down, or right?
Right. And that part, I agree with you that it is not the greatest hint because I don't know what to do. Right. And so in that case, I'm sort of like, oh, you have the curse of knowledge that you know that if you say, oh, solution A is not available to you, you think I understand what option, B is. And I
Yeah.
definitely
Well,
don't.
no, I,
Right.
I think the problem, the reason I criticize the hint so strongly is because the solution does involve pressing left, up, right, or down. Like you do have to press these buttons to solve this level.
Yes, and he wants you to do it like in a specific order or to do it in a way that minimizes stamina use or
Right.
something.
So I understand that.
Right.
And my point is that the advice when phrased as stamina is not good for getting someone to press these buttons in a specific order.
I guess I agree with that, but I also think that other people wouldn't have been that bothered by it and would have said like, "Oh, I need to kind of pause and um, try to figure out something, like try to really pay attention to not making very many moves in this level." I think many of like I'm a not a frequent video game player, and I think one of the things that actually that makes me bad is because I'm kind of afraid to quote unquote lose a life, which is, it's like when you are learning a foreign language and you're afraid to make a mistake. Like it's not a great way to get good at the game. But if you have experience playing, doing other things that you are good at, you can kind of develop this weird caution around it. And so his advice for me would have made me be quote unquote, stop this exploratory strategy and try to exploit something else. And I think that's what he was trying to say is like, hey, stop exploring, try exploiting. The problem is I don't know what to exploit. And he doesn't, he's not doing a good job there, right? There's a theory of mind, curse of knowledge problem there. He knows what to exploit and I don't. But I think his broad idea was, oh, this is when you should stop exploring and start exploiting. And he thought that was helpful information.
Yeah, I'm skeptical of that. I don't think his model was that explicit or sophisticated.
It's possible.
Because
What I'm trying to say is like it seemed that way to me, so I don't know how to help having with the conversation.
what I feel like what would you exploit at this point, right? Like to me, this game is almost exactly analogous to that situation we were having earlier. The main difference is this is a turn-based game, meaning like nothing happens if you don't press any buttons, whereas in the other game, it's real time, like time passed. Like if you don't do something, the enemy's still going to act anyway.
What was he trying to tell you to do instead?
He wasn't, as far as I could tell.
Right, but I think he thought that you had something else to do. Right, like he's very familiar with the game and he knows there's this other solution that you and I don't know about, but he, thought you did. And maybe we had some introduction to it, right? Like the way sometimes people will be like, you're learning Spanish and they'll be like, no, like this is a situation in which you obviously use the subjunctive, and you're just like, oh, the what? Right? And they feel like that's a useful sorry, we can keep going with your analogy too, but like I don't know how to keep having this conversation because I just disagree with what you're mad at him about.
Yeah, I mean, when you say that you think it's a useful piece of advice, I'm trying to understand how it's useful, right? Because I can't see that.
I think he truly thought he was telling you you don't have to explore for solutions.
Okay, so I understand your hypothesis about his beliefs, but I'm
Okay.
talking about you're saying like ignoring his beliefs, like agnostic about his beliefs. You're saying the advice itself would have been useful to another player other than me, and I can't see that. I don't see the only I guess the only possible case where I can see the advice being useful is if the player did not realize that as they were performing moves, their stamina was draining.
Fine.
Sorry, what was that?
I think that's fine.
But okay, so I guess the next follow up to that is I feel like that's for a lot of gamers, and also for what I was demonstrating while playing, a very low Bayesian prior. Like most people, I think, immediately understand from playing this game that like they see this meter decrease and they're like, oh, that's probably bad. I probably need to beat the level before this reaches 0. Like you figured that out, and Claude sort of struggled with it, but also sort of figured it out. Even the very bad Claude that could barely beat the levels.
Okay. I mean, I think his model was that he thinks that you will use the stamina information to decide whether or not you should continue doing what you're doing. And because you kept doing what you were doing while the stamina was decreasing, he was trying to signal to you that you were not using the feedback in the way that he thought you would from the game. And so he was trying to help.
Yeah, I mean, I accept that that's a possible and maybe even and probable state of mind that he has. It doesn't
Okay.
change my opinion that the hint was not useful, regardless of what his state of mind was. Like, not for me, but also not for anyone else, except for people who don't realize that as they move, their stamina was decreasing.
Trying to solve. Like, do you just want me to agree that his hint was bad? I don't, what are we trying to solve?
What are we trying to solve? We're trying to solve theory of mind, I guess. Like how do I transfer?
I'm trying to solve.
Yeah, like how do how do I teach someone the mental model, the infrastructure, the framework that they need to use in reasoning to figure out what advice to give to someone else? Possibly me, but possibly anyone, right? When advising someone on a video game.
As it like, why would you need that, what you're trying to model?
Well, I don't, right? It's just a hobby thing. It's like learning general relativity.
Okay. I don't think that people become better at giving advice through information about taking theory of mind into account. I think much like a video game, they have to give bad advice or advice that is not quite modeled at what the other person understands, and then realize it's not working and sort of iterate on something better.
I feel like that's an extremely slow process, and it seems it seemed to me that having a theory, like understanding theory of mind, is going to help a lot in giving advice to other people. Like if you don't have that concept of theory of mind, if you don't understand what theory of mind is, you're going to be bad at giving advice. Probably.
Most people are very bad at giving advice.
Yeah. So it seems like if you want people to become better at giving advice, one of the first steps you should do is teach them about theory of mind.
You would think, but it actually doesn't work that way. We don't really get better through that kind of information. We get better usually through experience. And it is a slow process, but it allows it to become automatic, internalized, contextual.
I feel like part of the problem with relying on experience is that your opportunities for practice are very far and few between. And so that's why, like, you'll probably die of old age before you get good at it, right? If you only have, like, once a week you have an opportunity to give advice to someone, and then also if you lack introspection, it's like you give advice that doesn't work, and you say, oh well the guy was an idiot. It wasn't my advice that was bad. Like, there's like so many things that can go wrong there, where it feels like the teaching something about theory of mind will shortcut like all of that, right?
I don't know. I am trying to give you advice right now, and it is not working because this is not how humans, right? Like we don't actually reason rationally, right? Our reason is for convincing other people.
Okay, so do you have literature you can send me
On
how teaching people theory of mind doesn't improve their advice giving capabilities?
see also therapy.
Do therapists teach about theory of mind? My mind didn't, but maybe they detected that I already had it, so I don't know.
Yes, therapists try to teach theory of mind. It's sometimes called, lately it's been called like mentalizing ability.
Okay. But so it sounds like you're saying you don't really have literature, so I would have to like do my own independent research on this to see what literature there is out there on that.
In general, it is difficult for humans to quote specific sources because our brains don't naturally tag sources.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Yeah, so I'm not saying like, gotcha, you don't have sources, you're wrong. I'm just saying...
It sounds a little bit like you are.
Yeah, I mean, I think we have different styles of communication. Like,
Sure.
Like I think of arguments as neutral in a sense, but a lot of people, possibly you include, think of arguments as confrontational, negative, that sort of thing, right?
Sure. With theory of mind, you are into like understanding my interpretation of events. Yes.
Right. So, but the thing is, sometimes you do have citations, which is why I asked you, right?
Sometimes I do.
Like I'll say,
Sometimes I do.
and
I
on the
do
spot,
not
you'll
in
say
this
like, yes. So,
yes.
like
You sound irritated right now.
yeah, I know that that's your interpretation, and it might be accurate for all.
Yeah.
Like maybe I'm not, right? It's hard to tell with Alexa time. Yeah.
I'm just saying why I reacted this time.
Okay.
Is because you sound exacerbate.
I am a little bit.
I'm trying to say.
Like I am.
Great.
Because it's exhausting. Also, this argument, right? I agree with you that it's exhausting.
This is why I keep trying to not have it.
No, but like the thing is, my desire to know the truth is stronger than my aversion to exhausting arguments, right? Which
But
that's
what about
just...
mine? Where's your theory of mind?
Yeah, I mean,
What
so the
about
other thing,
mine?
yeah, so it's fair and it's available to you to say like,
Hey Nebu, hi Steph.
"Hi, Funkitron." It's available to you to say,
Hey, Funkatron.
"I don't want to talk about this anymore. I'm tired of it." Right? Like, because like you have said that sort of thing in the past about certain topics, and I've tried to respect that.
It is available, but from a
Hey everyone, big shout out to
to have to say that.
Funkatron. He's been streaming fantastic content, like his recent Nintendo Entertainment System session playing Barbie, which sounds super fun and nostalgic. Make sure to follow him if you enjoy chill gaming and cool TikTok-inspired vibes.
Hmm.
Sorry, you were saying you're saying yes, it's available to you, but and then ...
Oh, it's quite uncomfortable to have to do.
Yeah, I acknowledge that.
You've received that feedback before.
Have I? I don't remember if I have. Maybe I
don't
have.
know. I'm sorry. There was a question mark at the end of that.
Okay. Yeah, I acknowledge that. It's sort of like a I don't know what to do about that, right? Like it's there's lots of things where I don't know something and I would like to know it. So it's best, I would love it if people would just tell me, but it's socially uncomfortable for them to tell me. It's like telling someone, "Oh, by the way, your fly's down," right? Like there's some people who would like to know, but it's socially uncomfortable sometimes to tell someone that their fly's down. So you don't do it. And it's just like,
Right.
it's the sad equilibrium that we're in. So, whatever. Oh man, we're almost out of time. We wasted so much time on that discussion.
Waste time on this discussion.
Sorry, I didn't hear. I think I missed the first few syllables.
I am not the one trying to waste time on this discussion.
Yeah. I had flies like all over my apartment for a long time, for a couple weeks, I guess. And I'm like,
Oh God.
wow, I guess this is how Surrey is, right? Because like it wasn't this bad in Seattle. And I pour cleaning detergent down my sink or whatever, like all those tricks that you
Yeah.
would easily get from an LLM or whatever. Anyway,
Right.
it's a very quick side tour. So you know how like intelligent people can learn things from like few examples? Like there's even so-called zero shot learning, like learning from zero examples, which is like this crazy concept, I think. But
Yep.
but presumably you can learn from 1 or 2 or 10 examples or whatever, right? So I recently discovered why I have so many flies.
Some sort of rotting vegetable in your.
I bought potatoes and I forgot. I let them
Yep.
rot. And this is something that I've done before, as you recall,
Yes,
Steph.
it is.
When I was like, oh, let
Damn
me,
it!
let me,
Actual potatoes.
yeah,
Fuck.
I'm like, let me get one of my potatoes, and I see like this huge nest of flies in the potato bag. I'm like, oh god.
Christ. Oh my God. That is bad learning.
Why did I not learn from the past examples?
That is a great question. Well, maybe this time it'll stick.
Maybe we'll see. See next in a year if I remember next year. I got a bunch of games that I need to do.
Okay.
And so we might swap out Silksong for one of them in the future week.
Sure.
So let me show them to you, and you tell me if you veto them or something. And so
Okay.
I'm using, obviously, nefarious.
This is new. This is new.
No,
Okay.
this is, I've done this in the past. Anyway,
You have?
yeah, and you didn't let me do my joke. Nefariously, I'm going to use the fact that it's uncomfortable for you to say no to bully you into saying. See, I was like, we're going to play this unless you say no, right? Like so.
Fantastic.
So here's the first one: do no harm.
Okay.
Lovecraftian doctor simulator. Diagnose patients by analyzing unsettling symptoms. You okay with that?
I think I'm fine with that.
Impartial. Impartial is an intriguing short 2D narrative game where you take on the roles of the conflict resolver, tasked with resolving moral dilemmas between the police and superheroes to fight crime.
That seems like a lot of dialogue.
Is that no? Are you saying no to this one?
I'm not saying no, but I'm saying it's a lot of dialogue, so I might be unhappy.
All right. So I think that's a yes. We'll see. I'll try to. I got this spreadsheet,
Yeah.
right, which is like how many games I can pack into whatever, and then we'll see how bad it is and if I really need to squeeze it in on the, or if I can put it on like a
good.
non-Thursday or whatever.
Right.
One more quick thing. So I'm talking to Claude about philosophy, I guess.
Okay.
I'm trying to go through these quickly now. Can you help me understand? This is me. This bubble's my prompt. Can you help me understand Elias Smede's argument in this?
Oops, didn't mean that,
link?
lol.
The great commitment framing does indeed make it easier for me. But anyway, but why is my conclusion different from this guy? What am I misunderstanding?
Yeah.
So he says, here, blah, 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 blah. And then I say stuff, he says stuff. I say, so here I'm saying basically, I reread the scenario from Schmid. And I realized I misunderstood the scenario. Like I thought it was a Newcomb type problem, like where you have the left box is $1 million, the right box is empty or whatever.
Yeah.
So he's saying, I thought there was a bomb in the right box no matter what. And then he says, but actually, blah, blah. And then so he says something and I said, okay, with this correction, I think it's more natural to think of how do I phrase it? What the way the scenario is saying that there's a one, like Omega is accurate, like he's only made a mistake 1 in a trillion times. And so I'm saying, so now that I understand the scenario better, rather than saying that the time that I'm observing is the time he made a mistake, I think it's more likely that I'm living in a simulation and he's trying to see what I would have done in that situation where he made a mistake. And blah, blah. Anyway, so the punchline is eventually the Claude gets tired of me and tells me to shut up, right? Says, I think this is actually a good place to land the whole we're
Oh my god, that's amazing. That's amazing. I have never reached that limit yet. Wow.
Where Claude got exhausted with me going back and forth with him.
Doesn't even ask if there's anything else I can do for you.
Yeah.
It's just like, good night, for God's sake. That's hilarious.
Okay, and then here's the last thing I got. So, evidence that my tribalism isn't super bad.
Okay.
There's been this congressional hearing recently, right? Dr. Fauci. I don't know if you've been following that. And you might have to give a long response so that Discord doesn't cut off the first 2 syllables.
I have not been following that.
Okay. I get these news from TikTok. Like I randomly, right? I'll get pushed political news in a sense. So I don't know if it's like the algorithm trying to make me unhappy for engagement or something like that. But anyway, that's besides the point. I wasn't super closely following it, and so actually I was making a mistake, and I didn't realize I was making a mistake until later. But I guess I'll explain the mistake first to give a context about what's going on. I was confusing Fauci with RFK Jr. because they're both like health people in government, right?
Right.
Like top health people, like the people in charge of health or whatever.
Right.
And so I had these 2 people mixed up, and so I saw like, okay, so the health guy is in a congressional hearing, and my understanding is the health guy, which is RFK Jr., is a red team person, right? He's on Team Red.
Mm-hmm.
And so the congressional people, I guess they're senators. I don't know, the Congress people. I don't know what their role titles are, but they're asking him a bunch of questions, and they're being antagonistic towards him, right? So I'm like, so these guys are the blue guys,
right?
And I'm listening to them, and I'm like, wow, these questions are actually pretty unreasonable. Like they're being really mean to this guy. Like I know, quote unquote, we all hate the red people, but like you guys are pushing it. Your questions are leading. They're misrepresentative. Like this is like I thought this was a red only thing, but I guess the blue people do it too. Was my reaction to watching these congressional hearing videos, right? And then you might have to give a long response again.
Yes, you thought that.
Okay. And then it turns out actually it wasn't RFK Jr. It was Fauci, who's a blue guy.
Yeah.
So the antagonists were the red people.
Yes, that sounds right.
And so then I'm like, so what this revealed to me was the meta level is, so my tribalism isn't that bad, because when I believed that they were the blue people, I was still thinking they were being unreasonable, right? It's not like as long as they're blue, I agree with them. As long as they're red, I disagree with them. I was willing to disagree with the blue, who I thought was blue.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. It sounds like it was pretty egregious, but yeah.
Sure, but I mean, if it were, because there's that worry, right? Like, or I don't know if everybody has a worry. Maybe it's idiosyncratic of like how much of my beliefs are rationality based, for lack of a better word, and how much of them is tribalism.
Right.
And I'm relieved to see that I am willing to disagree with the tribalistic viewpoint, if it comes to that, right? Like there is some level where I'm like, no, I disagree. I think you guys are being unreasonable, even if I thought they were quote unquote on my team.
Good.
All right, do we do the game for like 20 minutes or something?
We're in a new place. Look around.
Yeah, should we do it?
Yeah.
I'm loading up the game.
Okay.
How much do you think we'll be able to see of this new place?
I think it will be a percentage.
1%?
A percentage.
Yeah, by
some percentage.
Okay. Because that is two ways of interpreting the term a percentage.
I've been thinking more and more about nothingness. Is that weird mainly as a concept of existence, not just death, but before conception, the mere thought, it is both fascinating and frightening at the same time. But anyways, the older I get, the more I've been thinking about that concept. Maybe I am nihilist, maybe I am atheist agnostic, or maybe it's just eventual acceptance, even though that can happen at any age.
Oh, that's a dead end.
It's not a huge place, but it's fun to do.
Sorry, I know that was long my bad.
On
my
I find the quote from Mark Twain, when I start worrying about death, I find it really comforting to think about that quote from Mark Twain where he says that he's not bothered by death because he, didn't have an existence before he was born and it didn't bother him in the least. And then I realized, like, oh, right, like before I was born, I was nothingness, and it wasn't scary or terrifying or sad or any of the awful things that I imagine when I imagine my own mortality. And I realized, like, oh yeah, it wasn't anything, and somehow that comforts me.
The fuck? Okay. These guys are... Let me turn the volume a little bit. It's a little bit loud for me. These guys are the guys from Deepness in Hollow Knight 1.
These kinds of things before in this game, right?
We didn't see these specific guys.
Maybe not these specific guys.
Garpids.
Would that make me more nihilist, I wonder?
I guess they're not Garpids, actually, because we're able to kill them. You can't kill them in the Hollow Knight 1. They're too armored.
Oh,
so these are like
yeah.
baby somethings. I think they do have a name that sounds like Garpids, but it's not actually Garpids.
I think nihilism is more the belief that nothing really matters. rather than that nothingness is weird. But not sure that I have a perfect definition there.
There's gosh darn. There's this whole complication when discussing this sort of topic, which is the prescriptivist versus descriptivist issue. What I mean by that is nihilism is a term that a lot of people use to label their beliefs, and it's all over the place. It's like, you know, different things. They're referring to different things because they believe different things, and they all label it nihilism. Gosh darn it.
There's still people who identify as nihilists.
Yeah.
I always think of nihilists as something you get labeled as rather than something that you actively say like, oh yes, I'm a nihilist.
Yeah, there are people. It might be like an edgy Reddit thing, Redditor, right? Young adult male, which maybe you
There
don't
are
hang out
different
with.
types of nihilists, some more extreme or doomer or absolute. I know little about it, but I know there are different terms within nihilist on a scale.
Yeah, I'm talking about something different. Like it's not, because I think you're in the mindset where the term nihilist or nihilism has like a specific definition, which can include, like, you know, an umbrella term of which there are subtypes of nihilism. And like that's a sort of mentality you might get if you read like a Wikipedia article on nihilism, right? Wikipedia will say, this is what nihilism means, and there are different types of nihilism, and here are some subtypes and so on. But I'm talking more about the phenomenon that people will have a belief, and then they call their belief nihilism. I'm gonna die here. Oh, yeah. Even if it doesn't match at all, like the definition on Wikipedia, for example, say. And I guess if you're willing to be uncharitable, the way to phrase that is they have a wrong idea of what nihilism is, right? They're incorrectly labeling their beliefs as nihilism.
Right, like you might say, like a lot of people think that they have socialist beliefs, when other people would say like, oh, that's technically not socialism.
Yeah, I mean, if you like a really extreme to the point of straw manning, I guess, would be something like if someone who says like, oh, I believe in nihilism because I like the show Seinfeld, right, which is a show about nothing.
Right.
Which I don't think that's like I feel like something of that flavor has been proposed at some point, like, yeah, the degree of variation, I guess, in what people mean by nihilism. No, I need to get there without doing it, without using my double jump. There we go. Oh god. What the fuck? How the fuck? What? That is an insane... Gosh, and then trying to heal after this too.
Path of mild inconvenience, LUL.
Yeah. The joke is that there's an area in Hollow Knight 1 called Path of Pain, which this is reminiscent of. Like I guess it's not quite as bad, which is why they're calling it half a
Mild
inconvenience.
inconvenience.
Yeah.
It's a good joke.
Gosh darn it. Holy shit, I took 2 damage there. I'm gonna die now. Gosh darn it. I lost more than I gained trying to heal there.
That's a bummer.
Oh, fucking hell. Is there a safe spot anywhere here? Fuck. Nope, there isn't a safe spot anywhere here. I guess there's a very tiny corner is safe, maybe. Oh, here it's probably safe. Because they need an entrance and an exit, right? And so where I'm standing here, there's no exit if they came out of the floor.
Stamina.
Yeah, thanks.
No problem. I'm helping.
So for the game that the Sokobans, oh, I shouldn't have healed there. The Sokoban game we were looking at earlier. Right, rather than saying like pay attention to your stamina, I feel like a good tip would be like that white plus does something. You should, you need to do something to white plus.
Oh yeah, I'm fully with you that the hint could have been better. I'm fully with you that the hint was unusable in its current form.
Okay, it didn't seem like you were fully with me on that. It sounded like you were saying, it's useful to someone else other than me. Gosh, what the heck?
I think it just wouldn't have bothered, like, it would have changed the behavior of other users.
I guess
I don't know
I'm not
if that would have been a positive way.
I don't agree with that, I guess. I don't, because like if we go back to the Sokoban example, ultimately you're going to have to press left, down, upper, or right. So your behavior would not have changed.
Oh, I didn't necessarily mean the behavior of your avatar. I meant like the literal player's behavior.
Life matters in the now. I don't think life is meaningless. I do see things half empty in terms of how I view the world in general, always seeing the negatives first and putting cons over pros in a sense. I just consider myself very skeptical, critical of everything. But it's not about life being meaningful, it's about making the most of it while being cautious and alert.
The normal level of negativity bias.
Damn it, I feel like I'm trying too much.
I think we're in this awkward situation where we have two conversational topics that are like completely unrelated to each other, and now we don't know which one to focus on.
Nihilism and the pedagogy.
Yeah, I didn't hear what the first one was. If it's nihilism,
My bad, let me guess.
I'm assuming
on
it
my
was
computer
nihilism.
To 9 busy typing.
My problem is that, like,
My bad.
so I normally can't hear those interruptions, and it bothers both of us to be interrupted while we're talking. And then, like, sometimes you can't hear me or I can't hear you, but you'll also, like, you don't want me to talk too long, but you also don't want me to not talk long enough, but also I might be interrupted at any moment. It kind of just makes me freeze up. And so sometimes there will be times when we're talking that, like, or when we have these game nights where you notice I don't really say much of anything at all because I'm just kind of afraid to say anything.
Yeah, I had an idea for that, but I didn't have a chance to implement it yet, which is there's a so you know how you have your soundboard, right? And maybe we could sort of implement a half-measured version of that. But like I was thinking making a soundboard sound where it's just someone saying okay. And so you can click that, you know, when because I can't hear your short okays when you're acknowledging what I'm saying. So you can click that and hopefully that reliably comes through. And that can be your signal that you heard what I said, and I'm good to move on to the next phrase or topic or whatever.
Should just assume I heard what you said.
Well, you didn't you just say that sometimes you don't hear what I say?
Not very often, though. I almost always hear, and I actually don't have a problem speaking up and saying like, "Oh, I didn't hear that." That feels perfectly conversationally comfortable to me to say like, "Oh, the sound's not working. I didn't hear that."
Okay, but I think hang on a second. What I have trouble with, like I guess in terms of my comfort, is when I say something for a long time and you don't say anything back. Hang on, I need to do this without using double jump. I get this this panic, maybe? I don't know if that's the right word, of where I feel like everything I said was not, you didn't hear, and then now I gotta say the whole thing all over again.
Or that's what nonverbals are used for, right? The nonverbals are to communicate, I'm with you, I'm listening, this stuff is being tracked, and it makes sense to me that you would be nervous without being able to receive those nonverbals. I just don't, because they're nonverbal, they're not under a whole lot of conscious control for me, and you like they're not for any human, and you keep thinking that if you just tell me to be conscious of them, that will work. And now you're like, well, I can make you do them electronically and that will work. And it's like, no, these are unconscious. Like your feeling of feeling uncomfortable is not very conscious either. So I don't think it's a problem that can be solved through just telling me to think more about it, or to, try to make my unconscious not involuntary, but like automatic responses to you, like to make them longer so that they get picked up by the sound, or to make them electronic or something like that. It's like, oh, that's, good luck trying to change anyone in that way.
Okay, that wasn't at all what I thought the problem was, so it wasn't
well, it makes me self-conscious that you keep drawing attention to it, because you're making me feel like I'm doing nonverbal communication wrong, so I might be focusing on that. But let me be more basic and be like, oh yeah, like part of the reason that I feel like that I feel like you're literally criticizing who I am as a person is that you are it feels like you're giving me feedback that I'm doing something that's pretty unconscious, pretty involuntary, like that I'm doing it wrong. And so not only is it uncomfortable, but like I don't think it's going to be a very good solution to try and expect that someday I'm going to get more in control of it in the way that you want.
Okay. See, like what my mental model, and I guess it was incorrect, I was wrong. What I was thinking is you want to acknowledge, like you want to say okay or yes or whatever, but Discord is not sending that signal for whatever reason. So I say, okay, let me just find a more reliable way to send the signal, right? By giving you a button that you can click on that will send that signal to me.
To signal it, but from my end, I am signaling it.
Yeah, and I'm saying that's not reliable, right? So that's why I'm saying we just use a different communication.
But it's not. But like it's sort of like saying like I quote unquote want to blink. Like I mean, I do, but like it's not something that I voluntarily think about.
Yeah. Okay. So you're telling me that my mental model is wrong, which I accept. I'm saying, okay, so now that I know
Great.
that the mental model is wrong, let me come up with a different solution.
Okay.
And so here's my alternate solution. I don't know if you can still see my screen, probably, right? Yeah, I think so.
I can. Yeah.
So I don't know if your Discord looks like this, right? Do you see Discord on my screen that I shared on screen?
Do see that, and that's what it looks like.
So there's this button here that's the microphone button.
Yeah.
If you click on that, you go to input profile.
Okay.
And then voice isolation is the default, and that does things like background noise cancellation, things like that.
Okay.
And studio means don't do any processing on the voice.
Okay.
So if you switch it to studio, what I'm thinking is hopefully it will not mute out the first few syllables of your speech.
Okay. Does it seem better now that I've gone to studio?
So now it's much more quiet, but I can work on that. I can increase the volume.
Okay. I changed it to studio. It was on custom.
Okay.
Which is odd.
Yeah, well, I can tell that you're still processing, but I don't know if it's better or not. Like, I don't know if it's going to be cut off your syllables anymore or not. I guess we'll just leave it like this for a while and see how it goes. Did you say something? Because if you did, I didn't hear it, which is... And I still don't hear anything. Oh no, now I'm worried that we lost Steph completely. I don't know if you made a change so that... I don't even know if you can still hear me. I'll type into the chat to check. Are you able to hear me? I can't hear you.
Does that make a difference?
Oh, I hear you now.
Okay. Does that make a difference?
Well,
I hear you.
It makes a difference relative to 30 seconds ago where I couldn't hear you at all. I don't know if you could hear me.
Okay. I could hear you.
Okay. So, yeah, I was gonna say, we'll leave it like this for a while, and I guess maybe like a full stream or something like that, and we'll see if your first few syllables get cut off or not.
Okay, let's try that.
So there's this guy here. I don't know who this is. I don't know if he's friendly or what. I guess we'll walk up to him and see if he attacks me.
Where's your screen now?
It should be in your web browser, I think.
There we are.
So you see there's a guy on the right, like a beetle, I guess.
Oh, up there. Yeah, I do see. He's very dark on my screen.
Yeah, I don't know if he's friendly or not, so I'm gonna walk up to him and we'll see if he attacks me.
I feel like he's not friendly.
He didn't attack me. He's leading me somewhere. Wait, before we do that then, because there's two paths I could have taken. I'm gonna do the Robert Frost technique. Wait, they're on both sides. What the heck?
They're leading you everywhere. They're like fruit flies.
Yeah.
This is what's happening in your apartment.
Yeah, but these guys are clearly...
They're trying to give you a message.
Clearly cockroaches, right? Out there lies the endless waste. If I cross them now, Farloom shall fall back to a black fate of my making. My choice is made. I will not abandon its bugs to that grim end. I must ascend again and cut them free. So she's saying don't go this way.
That's what it does when it says, yeah, that you're going the wrong way. That's its polite way of saying, stamina!
See, no, but that one is clear. It's, don't go that way.
I know. It was just a joke. I was just fitting it in for fun.
But I mean, I still,
You're like, too soon!
No, it's not. So there's a couple of things here, right? One of them is my emotions, right? Where I think I don't know if the right word is worried about upsetting me. But...
Sure.
But I'm not worried about that. Like, I give you my consent to upset me in this manner. Nameless town.
Okay. Oh, I thought you said name this town, and I was like,
How is this not a bench? I can't sit on this thing?
It's like a carapace to let you know this is not going to be a fun place to be.
Yeah, but you can sit on carapaces usually. Now only the
Oh.
wind, because they're benches. The weaving ones beckon, sweet promises whispered, friends seduced from the depths below. Sweet promises whispered. Oh, we got something. Surface memento? What the
A
heck?
surface memento.
Worn ornament of
Finally.
the nameless town high above our loom. The memento can be displayed at home. Why would I want to display it in my home? What was I saying? Oh yeah, okay. Because I'm not. What's the right word? I'm not bothered by being upset on this topic. A small tunneling downward descent for them, sure. Like, more if in an earlier age when I was more naive, I would simply phrase it as I'm not upset. But I don't know if that's accurate, right? I think that's, now that I'm older and wiser, I'm open to the possibility that I
Might be
am
upset,
upset
sure.
a bit, but I still want to pursue the conversation in pursuit of truth.
Yes, and I think one way that you are different than other people, and certainly different than me, is that it's not that fun for me to have conversations where other people
Are upset?
are or are acting upset. Like, I get paid to do it professionally, but I don't, it's not that fun for me to do.
I feel like this is where I just was. This is like
Especially
a
for
big loop.
long people time. It might be. Metaphorically and literally.
Yeah, this is...
Yep, you just came back down.
Yeah, this is the bench.
Is it a maze?
No, I think it's just looping me back to where I was earlier. What surprises me about this is that we never got the map for this area. Which makes me think it's incomplete, but maybe you don't, because I'm trying to think where else. I mean, I guess I could try going up here and see if there's anything above. But I feel like, yeah, there isn't going to be.
There is one. I think you just missed it.
Where? Where is it? Is it in here? No,
I
this
don't
is
remember.
this is where I came from. Like, this is the other entrance into this place, I think. So is there anything else here? Oh, I mean, I guess there is something else here, which is the map. We could try to find the map. Where would it be? Jeez.
It's somewhere in the maze.
What's the maze? The part that's one room down? Like, from the bench, we go to the right for it?
Did you do the entire climb or did you find the shortcut?
How would I even know? We can do the climb again, I guess.
The door that leads you up to the surface is the shortcut.
No, I didn't take the door that leads me up to the surface. I did this. I did what I'm doing now. Can't believe I have to do it a second time. Frickin' heck. How much money do I have? Gosh darn it. I hate this climb. Fucking heck. Oh my gosh. There we go.
There.
Did your map not update when you sat down?
I don't have a map. That's the whole problem. I don't have the mappers area.
I think maybe there isn't an official map. Google is saying it's part of the cradle, so if you don't have a map to the cradle, that's why you don't have it for here.
I'm about to get fucked by that thing that's just gonna spawn on top of me. I do have a map for the cradle.
I guess that's it then.
But I don't have the map for this place. What the heck? Alright, I don't want to try to get all the way up or all the way down. I'm just going to quit out. We warp back to the bench. Alright, so what do we do now? Do we have quests? I don't think we have a quest except the main quest.
There isn't much to this area, just some lore about the surface.
So how do I get the 100%? Oh, I'm at 84. What do I need to do to get the 100% now? Guess we can look at what these are.
Bellheart.
Bellheart. What, they can't come here? I'm gonna summon the teleporting guys. Gosh darn it.
At this point you can just assume that if you jumped down blindly and there weren't any spikes, it's because TC forgot to put some LUL.
It does seem like there's often spikes at the bottom.
It's like an unwritten rule or something.
Yeah, totally. Spikes, spikes, everywhere spikes.
Wait, I got
Blocking up the scenery.
16,000? 1,600? I do have 1,600.
Killing my
I
guys.
thought I had 700 geos.
Are you gonna put the memento in your house?
I guess so.
Look at our pretty blue house.
Oh, we have 2 mementos.
Nice.
Village lost to Farloom's haunting? I don't even remember what this is.
Maybe check another bench. Or Songclave.
I think we need to get like a full list of every percent in Silksong and just go down the checklist.
But that would have spoilers.
Yeah, but unless you're gonna tell me what to do, then I have no choice, right? Like there's a green prince guy, there's the running guy, there's the red velvet lady, you know, like all these people, all these bosses that I've seen in TikToks.
Would you like to know what I'm thinking you can do next?
Yes, the whole time I've been like for the last 10 streams I've been asking you, what do we do next? Where do I go to fight the red velvet lady? Where do I go to find the green prince? Where do I go to find the blue running guy? Where do I go to find the other 16% that I'm missing here?
Okay, go the Sands of Karak area.
Sands of Karak, got it. Where is that? I actually don't know where Sands of Karak is. Oh, here it is. So Blasted Steph looks like the closest.
Well, those other bosses you're talking about are part of the main quest.
So you're saying I should just do the main quest? Because that's also a form of, you know, telling me where to go or what to do next. I went to the wrong place, I think. This is not where the thing is. Grand Bellway, maybe that's where it is.
I was thinking 2 other ones you can do today, but you haven't gotten served. LUL.
There's a Blasted Steps.
Looks like you have something marked on here with as a little like check this out later thing.
Yeah, it's the merchant. I haven't bought everything that he has for sale yet. Niche pick. Throw the big old needle. Apparently this thing is super good. Like I saw Doll use this thing and I didn't realize how good it was until I saw her use it.
Oh, nice.
Crafting kit. Sure. So there, sure. And then we still need like 1,300 more to get all this stuff.
Okay. Oh, enjoy
The
some
fact that
sand.
this guy has it means you missed out on a mini game and an NPC.
Yep. All right. Care to be more specific, doll?
Up.
Oof.
Shoot up from here.
Oh. Oh, pretty. Volt nest. Oh.
Very pretty but small area.
It's beautiful.
I'm thinking about how every area now is a copy of an area from Hollow Knight. So this is clearly Crystal Peaks. Just like the place we were earlier was clearly Deepness, and the place before that was clearly Abyss. Oh god, I'm fucked. Where was the last bench? Like a million miles away. Gosh darn it. Man.
I don't think this looks like Crystal Peak.
You don't think the pink lasers doesn't give off Crystal Peak? Or how did a hardened outcrop of Voltridian?
No, it's electric coral, not laser crystals.
Oops. Oops. Where's this? That's a shortcut back. Shit! I don't want to do this section again. Where was it? Was it here? Oh, it was here. Nice. Thank goodness. Oh god, is this the boss room? 1 HP.
LUL.
Perfect.
I mean, this boss seems pretty
So
easy.
you're-
I don't know what the phase 2 is gonna be, but
Like, he can't come get you. Because it's like a
oh,
coral.
what the fuck? It broke the pattern.
Yep.
I thought it was gonna go from outside in, but instead it. All right, what am I giving up for this guy? Compass? I guess shards. You were gonna say something, Steph? You said something about he can't come get you or whatever.
Oh, it's just an interesting boss, right? That he can't come down and get you in this one. Like, he's like a coral. He's in the coral. I
Now
find
did
it
that look
kind
like
of
Crystal
interesting.
Guardian to you? Pew pew pew.
Yeah, I mean, I think to me they're similar because of the mechanics and the color scheme, but I guess to you they're different because the lore is different. Like, you're distinguishing between a label of electricity and a label of laser. But like this timing puzzle, you know, of a vertical shaft that you cannot enter during, there's a tell, a warning, I guess, and then if you're actually in there, you take damage. That happens in Crystal Peak all over the place. Not just the lasers, but also the crushers, right? Are like that too. And it doesn't really show up in any other area in Hollow Knight, I think. That timing thing. So that's why it feels very Crystal
Imagine
Peak
they
to me.
would run out of mechanics, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's lots of games use lasers and timing, things like that. So it's not there isn't an expectation, I guess, that every game will, like, every mechanic will always be new in every game.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and you sound upset about that too.
Yeah, I think I'm cursed so that I'm going to sound upset for everything I say for the rest of the night. Maybe.
Oh no. Are you upset?
I don't think so.
As far as you know? Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I am. Gosh, that's in the range. Why? Okay, here's why I'm upset. Why isn't the freaking blue dice working? It always works for Doll. It never works for me. The blue dice is when you take damage randomly, like, you just don't take damage.
Ah, that would
So
be pretty
far,
cool.
every time I've been taking damage,
Maybe
I
you're
took
not
the
lucky,
damage.
LUL.
Yeah, I'm not lucky apparently.
It would have been cool if you'd been able to win that fight with only, like the first time when you only had 1 health.
Yeah.
That would have been pretty legendary.
Can be coiled around thread imbuing silk skills with electric charge. I don't think it was that difficult. I just got unlucky, alright? Or cocky, maybe. Because I thought I understood the pattern, but it turns out I didn't.
Right.
Alright, now what? What do we do, doll?
Are there areas that we can see on the map of, like, the edges of things that might have secret...
Now maybe main quest. The summon will just happen eventually.
Alright, well, if we're gonna do main quest, I guess this is a good stopping point. Okay, Steph. See you later.
Hey, how's the sound been?
Fine, I guess, but
GG, good night, Nebu and Steph.
But I feel like
Good night, Doll Empress. Thank you for helping us.
we've only tested for an hour, and I feel like that's not sufficient to know.
I'm not saying it was. I was just curious if that hour has been good, right? Like the absence of evidence is not evidence of absence, but the presence of evidence is the presence of evidence. So
I don't know what any of that means, but I guess I'll see you next time.
You heard all of it, so perfect. All right.
See
Bye.
you. Bye. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. That was Silksong with Steph. Regular schedule every Thursday, 7:30 p.m. Pacific. That's about 2 hours, 45 minutes ago in your time zone. We got these Thursday streams where we'll be playing Silksong for the foreseeable future. Although maybe next stream we might do one of the other 2 games that I showed Steph. Every Saturday, 6 p.m. That's about 4 hours ago in your time zone. We got the solo Saturday stream where I play random games from my review queue. We got the Discord. Join the Discord for updates to the schedule. And then you ask for off-schedule streams. Where is it? It's here, Thursday. Okay, so tomorrow, Friday, we are playing Turnip Mountain with Peaceful Pacitia, and then Saturday, we're playing Dad's Monster House 2 with Evan Flux. So look forward to that, and I think that's it. Thanks again, everyone, for tuning in. I'll let you guys enjoy the rest of the Cap Raid while I look for something to raid. Oh, and Doll, I don't know if you're still here, Doll. I guess I'll DM you on Discord in case you're not here. But I was gonna say, I think I need to get that checklist of like, here's everything to do. I don't know if you're gonna advise otherwise. I think I'm just so that I don't have to wander around aimlessly. I need that checklist of do this, then do this, then do this, then do this. So yeah.
No worries if you feel like that'll help you.
Con mi gente tan alegre desde que hemos en su Cuba. Oh. That was a little spooky.
What the fuck is happening, bro?
Mm.
Thank you so much for the raid.
Oh my,
He said,
oh my
oh,
god.
Nebu. Yo, what's up, Nebu? Thank you so much for the raid. How was your stream? Are you good?
Hiders were all around me trying to fuck me in my ass. No big deal. Jesus Christ. I'm actually gonna cut myself. Oh my goodness, they're like taking laps.
No, you're done.
Green, green, yellow,